Our guess was spot on. Looks like we have company.
Those Central Church dastards have spotted us. Buy me some time while I open the seal on the casket.
I'm on it.
Looks like the enemy is going after the casket in the back. Maybe they're going after the Saint's bones? Weird. I'd like to defeat them before they can finish the job. But did you notice? Look closely at the ground. There's some kind of contraption on certain parts of the floor. The smart move is to advance while finding the best fighting positions we can, based on the enemy's weaponry.
Hello there, folks. Spaced Oyster here, and welcome back to the next event for our lovely Golden Deers. The only things to cover this before we get started are that Marianne has qualified for her new class, Monk, thanks to reaching level 5. And what's this? It looks like Ingrid is also a monk. Interesting choice. Since she has a D in Faith, she qualifies, but the only thing she can do is heal, so I don't know what the plan is. Very odd situation we have going on here. In any case, it looks like for this activity, the Golden Deer have been tasked with defeating grave robbers who have broken into the monastery. And Petra has yet to officially join the class, but it looks like Easy Rom wants to use her as bait, since as a temporary ally for this chapter, or event, or whatever, Petra cannot assign a battalion. It's very unfortunate. She could really use the assistance, but it also means she is effective bait, since she does not need to worry about enemies depleting her battalion before she can use it.
I got this.
That said, Raphael is tankier, so even though the enemies can probably double him, he's not going to take as much damage. Aha! Now let's double check that. 16, 17. Wait, no, I forgot to look at his defense stat. That was his offense. Yeah, 0 damage and 7 from the archer. Raphael will be just fine. It looks like the evil plan for this chapter, or event. Sorry, folks. It's a tough for me to English today, as you can plainly hear. But anyway, it looks like Easy Rum's evil plan is to go up the right side.
Death Knight, prove your strength and scatter these fools.
I don't take commands, or waste my time on weaklings.
I'm getting a really disturbing vibe from that guy. No one go near the evil-looking knight, okay?
Yes, Claude, very helpful advice. That evil-looking knight can most definitely deal a lot of damage and potentially take anyone out for the rest of this event. So it is a very good idea to avoid him if possible. Well, what do we have here? Looks like some of the enemies are going to try and flank our fledgling class of little deers. Sadly, it's not going to work out for them the way they think. Anyway, this enemy here is a Dark Mage. Dark Mages can be very tricky to handle. I think we covered them last time, since there was exactly one in the last event where they were putting down an armed rebellion. Anyway, just in case I forgot to mention it before, every Dark Mage will have the ability to reduce the strength of whoever they deal damage to. So if you aren't careful, they will make it more difficult for you to kill anything. Well, for a strength-based character. Although for magical units, like lovely Marianne here, they can also prevent you from being able to double or even get you into doubling range for the next phase. It only lasts a single turn, but if you do have the magical spell Restore, then you can get rid of the debuff as it applies to you. Now, looks like Petra's gonna get started on weakening this Dark Mage, so Marianne can get the kill.
Was that helpful?
Frozen Lance doesn't need strength, you silly Dark Mage. Oh, don't beat yourself up over it, Marianne. Magic is all you need. And now the group has the difficult task of dealing with these remaining 2 enemies. What is the plan here? And even though Ingrid is a monk, since she has only a basic healing spell to work with, she's going to have to make do with Tempest Lance and Archery, as well as, well, just lances and archery, until she can learn how to use magic offensively. Although I don't know why Easy Rum is having her be a monk in the first place. Ingrid's magical talents, while not insubstantial, aren't her strongest suit. She is much better at flying around the battlefield and raining death down upon her enemies as a lovely Pegasus Knight. It's certainly what she seems to aspire to be, since she starts with a D in flying. But I'm certain Easy Rum, with her galaxy brain, has figured out something to do with Ingrid that requires magic, and is going to put her talents to good use.
Deer for you.
Anyway, and despite the stride that they started this this event off with, the Golden Deer are making slow progress. This might take a while, folks, but they do need to move quickly. Hopefully they'll be able to finish this event in time, since there is a time limit. If they don't win in 25 turns or less, then they automatically lose.
I thank you.
Why, I'm not so sure, but who cares? Arbitrary time limits are arbitrary, and you have to abide by them, otherwise you face the death penalty. Easy Rum doesn't seem to be very good with a bow. If only she had some sort of sword she could use at a distance, that would be very handy. And that enemy priest there, that actually reminds me of a interesting quirk. Enemy factions, when they know healing spells, they tend to equip them when they go to use them. It's a very odd situation, since the Golden Deer don't have that same restriction. Marianne doesn't have to unequip her lance to use her heal spell, nor does she have to equip that heal spell. It's very, very strange that the enemy would decide to handicap themselves like that, but I guess they decided they have to take it easy on our little deers. But fortunately, that means Easy Rum gets the chance to easily deal some damage. They don't call her Easy Rum for nothing. Looks like she's gonna go with her lance to work on her thrusting skills. Easy Rum dreams of...
The reinforcements haven't arrived? If they approach from behind, we can attack them from both sides.
Yeah, Easy Rum dreams of taking to the skies someday, so she really needs to work on her ability to thrust and smash. Because all flyers are good at either one or the other. Of course, that said, a flyer isn't limited by that. A good flyer can use whatever skills they deem necessary. Looks like Claude's getting a lot of mileage out of that steel bow there, folks. Steel weapons are rather interesting to consider. They often have more durability than the average weapon, and they deal, well, more durability than your average iron weapon, but they also... I can't really think straight here today, folks. Okay, got it. So, they, steel weapons, they deal more damage than iron weapons, and they have more durability than iron weapons, too, but at the trade-off of being less accurate and heavier. Looks like Petra's in a tricky situation, but if the Easy Rum plays her cards right, the class can make... yes! It looks like Easy Rum's plan is to move forward while also healing up Petra. That way, the enemies will be encouraged to follow suit, and the class can counterattack and deal damage to the enemies while moving forward a little bit. Very, very handy. I'm certain that sentence was very redundant, but I don't care too much to rephrase it, folks. I do not care too much at all. And they're getting close to the Death Knight's range. The Death Knight, he has a movement of about 8, I think. So if you get too close to him, or close enough to him, he is going to take you out with no problem. On the plus side, though, Ingrid being able to heal means that she can gain experience. She can gain experience from keeping people healthy.
Who's next?
It's not something just anyone can do. At least not until they get D-Faith.
I will get stronger still.
Well, you're not strong enough yet, honey. You didn't get strength or magic.
Careful.
What a disappointment, folks. And Claude missed. Tisk, tisk, tisk. But fortunately, him being there means that Easy Rum has a higher chance to hit. And level 9, hooray! One more level.
Not setting a very good example.
One more level, and she'll be able to qualify for an intermediate class. There are a bunch of intermediate classes, but only a few of them are actually worth investing in. For Easy Rum, I think her plan is to become a Pegasus Knight if she can. Oh no, there are the reinforcements that enemy leader was talking about. It looks like 2 mages and a dark mage. Definitely not something... definitely not a group to scoff at. While mages tend to... While the enemy mages tend to not have anything particularly noteworthy going for them, they also happen to be quite fast and can therefore be very tricky enemies to deal with. Very tricky indeed. And it looks like Easy Rum's going to keep moving forward. She doesn't have time to waste on waiting for them to catch up. Instead, she's going to move forward and possibly take them down later when they catch up. Let's see here. Oh, you remembered to use a vulnerary yourself, but forgot to give one to Riff Raff and Claude. Careless, Easy Rum. Very careless.
Ready and willing.
Okay, and now we have the tricky situation of having to deal with these enemies in this formation while having to stay out of the Death Knight's red range.
An ambitious plan.
Ooh.
It's time.
Wait, how did they
Should
get
I
a
have held
cart full of
back?
explosives down here? This is supposed to be in the basement of the monastery. Why would you bring a cart full of explosives down here? Doesn't seem to have done any damage to the architecture, so that's a bonus. Alright, well, let's see what the evil plan is now. Looks like Claude's going to take a chest key, so that way Easy Rum can open the chest. Well, not Easy Rum specifically, but you know what I mean, folks. It looks like Claude also has the Gambit Blaze. He brought explosives as well. This class is full of fire starters and pranksters, I suppose. Now that is a level up you should not be proud of, Riff Raff. Definitely not. Luck is the worst stat of them all, folks. And it looks like Easy Rum forgot to open the chest, so that'll take an extra turn. I think the treasures in this particular event are worth picking up, if possible. Ah yes, an intermediate seal. Those are required in order to advance to an intermediate class, obviously. So Easy Rum is going to need to stock up on them, since I think each student will want about 1 or 2.
I think I get it now.
And that is an enemy monk. Enemy monks tend to be very interesting to see on the field because for some odd reason they don't know any offensive spells and decided, I'm not going to use any weapons because that's efficient apparently. Not that it matters too much. I don't think they can do anything except try to heal people or run away. Alright, let's see. This guy's got 18 attack and 10 attack speed. So I think Marianne should be fine, but she's gonna stay out of it just in case, folks. Yeah, well, that time that was a bad level up. Resistance hardly matters, I suppose. Generally, the Golden Deer are going to want to take their enemies out before they get hit. But Marianne is quite good at fighting other mages thanks to her high resistance stat. She is definitely someone to watch out for when it comes to dealing with magic. Yeah. Menu navigation. It's a killer, folks. Always make sure you pick the right option. Alright, they're making steady progress, although they still have to take out this soldier. Fortunately, Raphael has it in the bag.
Don't know my own strength.
Or the face, since he's good at fisting. Ha! Easy Rum's still got a way to go before she's any good at thrusting.
Sorry.
And what are you thinking, Easy Rum? Just because that priest can't, or monk can't attack, doesn't mean you shouldn't take him out quickly. Alright, let's see what the next step is, folks. Looks like they're nearing the objective, but there is a chest on the other side, and I got a feeling that Easy Rum will want to take it.
It's not luck, it's fate. I expected as much.
Alright, a good level up on Claude. And fortunately, he was the first one to attack. Being the farthest away, but still being able to reach is quite the valuable asset, folks. Looks like Petra will be drawing out the enemy. I think that's a Myrmidon there, folks. Myrmidon versus Myrmidon. Well, Petra might not be able to deal enough damage. Her high speed stat means that she doesn't get doubled. She is quite adept at luring enemies out. Quite adept indeed. Although with the enemy reinforcement mages right in front of the class, they are going to have to find a way to not only deal with this Myrmidon, but also be able to readily retaliate on the next turn. Looks like chipping away with curved shots is the next best bet. Raphael might not have a talent for archery, but he's definitely making the most of it.
Just like that.
And it looks like sweet little Marianne is going to be the one to draw them out. With her 17 resilience, she'll only take 3 damage from the mages. It doesn't matter that she gets doubled. It's 3 damage, folks. At most. At most. They can deal 18. 2 crits. So 3 times. So 3 times 3, and then you double that. Although it looks like Easy Rum wants to get in on the fun too. Either way, having Marianne close enough to be able to retaliate as well is definitely handy. And Easy Rum's mysterious crest activates again. I think I spoiled what her crest is, but that is a-okay, folks. Sorry, Easy Rum, you already used your gambit, and poor Claude cannot reach. Unless... Oh, yes. Marianne can stride the group one more time, allowing Claude to use his charming personality to deal with the enemies. Ugh. Sorry, folks, I am very, very tired. I had a tough time getting to sleep last night, like I do every night. So what is your plan now, Easy Rum? Looks like she wants to take this mage out specifically.
As expected.
Yeah, the only thing to watch out for on mages is that they will all have an ability called Magic +2, so they will deal +2 damage. Well, yeah, +2 damage compared to what their stats normally depict.
Pull out all the stops.
And it's Claude's turn to use explosives in the basement. I don't see how that could go wrong at all. Alright. Now that the enemies are rattled, Ingrid and Raphael can finish the job.
Plenty more where that came from.
Although it looks like Ingrid is going to heal instead of finish that last mage off. I hope that's not a mistake she regrets. It looks like it's fine. He can only attack Claude thanks to being rattled, and with his stats lowered, he can't do much of anything else. And now the enemy is sufficiently weakened for anyone to finish off. Looks like there's just one more mage to worry about. Well, in the immediate vicinity. Of course, I do think Easy Rum wants to loop to the other side of the map to get the other chest.
Stronger still.
And Ingrid got magic. That will definitely assist her in being a mage, a thing she is totally prepared for. Yeah. The plus side, of course, to being to using Ingrid is that she doesn't have any weaknesses.
I think I get it.
She does have a few boons in thrusting, slicing, riding, and flying, but she doesn't have any weaknesses in anything, so she can pull off whatever class you desire, folks. Or rather, whatever class she desires, but it looks like it's clearly up to the teacher's discretion, because she desires to be a knight. Mages aren't knights! I mean, I guess there is a mage knight, so that's a technicality, I suppose.
Careful.
And hopefully this curved shot will do the job. And with the Crest of Regan triggering, so Claude recovers a little bit of his HP, that means that Riff Raff can get the KO. Or kill, since I think they are killing these armed invaders. Is invader the right word in this situation? I think it is. Alright, and what is next for the class? Looks like Ingrid and Marianne are going to keep Claude healthy. He's definitely going to need as many hit points as he can get. Although I don't know if Easy Rum intends to use him as bait for the next group. Alright. Looks like the next group has a couple of fighters with them instead of mages, so that might make things interesting. Ooh, pulling ahead. while Claude did land the shot and deal some significant damage, pulling ahead might have been a bad move. After all, the class is all out of stride, so they won't be able to catch up quite as efficiently. But with the way Claude and Ingrid are positioned, the enemy won't be able to move too much farther as well. It's a double-edged sword, folks. I think Easy Rum is going to try and make the most of it. Ooh, and Ingrid is normally quite speedy, but even these enemies are fast enough to get the drop on her.
You saved me.
I wonder what the Easy Rum's plan is. She put Marianne in a weird position to heal the enemy. Or, not heal the enemy, heal Ingrid. And she hasn't taken care of that soldier. He can deal a lot of damage if he isn't dealt with swiftly and efficiently.
I aim for greatness.
Well, well, well. A critical hit guarantees the kill for our lovely Ingrid. It looks like the enemy is going to try and use a gambit on Claude. But perhaps Easy Rum being in position will have them change their priorities. Yes, indeed. Instead of gambiting Claude, they're going to just smash Easy Rum. And her battalion takes some damage. Fortunately, she doesn't have to worry too much about that. She's already used up her one and only gambit, so all she gets from it is a stat boost. Well, that and leveling the battalion up more for future use. And with Gerald's mercenaries on Ingrid, she can rattle the other fighter. Yes, one little thing to keep in mind about Ingrid is that she is actually quite good at using battalions. Well, not quite good. She's better than most. Her personal skill, Lady Knight, allows her to deal more damage when using a gambit. It's not much, but every little bit helps, folks. Every little bit helps. And while Marianne definitely wants to work on her ability to thrust more, she also wants to get her reason skills up to at least a D+. She wants to become a mage eventually, before she finally takes to the sky and soars. Or spreads her wings and soars. That's the expression, folks. That is the actual expression. And then there's just one more enemy to deal with before the group can get to the other chest. I believe that one has something very nice in it. Oh, Easy Rum forgot to equip a bow, folks.
Thank you.
And she keeps forgetting to equip the bow. But it looks like Marianne has her covered. Marianne to save the day once again. Hopefully Petra will join the class soon. And on a more permanent basis, since as a temporary ally in her current position, Petra cannot trade with the other students. She's not allowed to alter their inventories at all, and her inventory is locked to an iron sword and a vulnerary.
Such power dwells within.
And now that Easy Rum is level 10, she qualifies for a beginner She qualifies for an intermediate class. For the next event, we might see her as something more advanced.
Was that helpful?
Unfortunately, she is the only one, but I'm certain she will help the other students catch up in no time. And it looks like Easy Rum wants to get her health topped off rather than allowing Marianne or Ingrid to gain a little bit more experience by keeping her healthy. Very selfish of you, Easy Rum. Oh, that chest contained spirit dust.
You're...
I am afraid that is contraband, Easy Rum. Oh, yeah, Easy Rum accidentally skipped the boss dialogue, so it looks like she
You're too late. The seal will be broken any minute now.
So yeah, she used her infinite powers to control space and time to rewind a bit so we could get the boss dialogue. What a considerate young lady.
I will get the victory.
And with this Dark Mage nearly defeated, the class is almost won. Defeating him is the only objective, folks. Going through the middle would have been much faster, but as you may have noticed, the Dark Knight is in the way. Or the Death Knight, I should say. Dark Knight is something else entirely. And said Death Knight will make things tricky, but it is possible to deal with him, folks. It takes time, patience, and... well, actually not time or patience, just clever positioning and stat buffs.
Stay focused.
So that way he doesn't take you out in a single round of combat. Speaking of a single round of combat, Claude's going for the curved shot for the victory. Guaranteed victory, folks.
Progress suits me well.
It's no use. A seal is broken. You can't... a sword.
Wait, there was a sword in there the whole time? Looks like a very creepy sword to me, folks. Wait, you can just cut through fireballs? Why don't they do that more often? I don't know. I'm not sure about Easy Rum's decision to use this sword over her other one. This one kinda looks like it's made out of plastic and is a toy, but that's just me. Is that a barrier? Have all the magical people been able to make barriers this whole time? Why don't they try that more often? Yeah, the sword may look like a toy, but it looks like it actually works. That man is dead. Now that I get a closer look, it kind of looks like a hero's relic, like Catherine's Thunderbrand.
That sword is... I see. What a pleasant surprise.
The jerk got away. Was that magic? We can't even chase after him. Hey, Professor, the way that sword is shining, do you think it could be...
Is the intruder here? Oh, looks like you have this under control. You, round up any stragglers.
Will do.
Alright, and that'll do it for now, folks. The MVP is none other than Ingrid. Give her a round of applause. We will see you all next time.